What's better than one ST2 or even two ST2s? How about three ST2s? As you can see, I decided to go in Platoon earlier last night and mess around with my friends to do a triple ST2 loadout. We did it just as a joke to begin with, and then it just turned out to be a really good game for all three of us. So I said, you know what? Why not show this replay on a video? Now, the ST2 is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, takes in World of Tanks. Why? Well, it's because it's got an incredibly unique playstyle. The vehicle features a very mediocre style Soviet gun where it's basically an IS-4 but without the penetration, which is okay. I mean, 310 mils a pen is basically the worst pen you'll find in tier 10. The only vehicle that has worse is the IS-7, but it's 303 APCR, and I'd actually have the APCR over the Heat because Heat can't even go through a lot of spaced armor. But the point is, the gun itself is alright. It's got 2600 DPM because you can't run rammer. It's got pretty good on-movement dispersion. And if you shoot it as a single shot, you can basically just do it as a warning capability. However, the thing that makes this tank dangerous is the fact that you can either get your second shell loaded faster, I think it's a 5-second intraclip, or you can dump both shells immediately after firing the salvo. And that is where the ST2 becomes an incredibly dangerous vehicle. When you're able to connect a salvo, you're able to just completely ruin anybody's day. It's even more dangerous than a 60 TP, because a 60 TP has 750 damage per shot, but a salvo from this vehicle can deal 880, which is actually insane. If both shells just slightly high roll, you can deal upwards of 1,000 damage to your opponents. And when you add that on to the fact that the ST2 is fairly accurate, the vehicle can actually do some really dangerous things. As I said, the only real downside is, first of all, no penetration. I cannot pen that E100 turret at all in that position there, so I'm not even bothering. And it's also the fact that this vehicle has very poor mobility. My loadout that you are seeing me run with the ST2 here, first of all, let's unfortunate. I didn't realize at the moment of charging my double shot, but one of my barrels was blocked on the rock, and that's why I did not end up hitting the Rhino. That's something you always have to keep in mind when using this vehicle, is if your other gun barrel is blocked when shooting at an opponent. But at least if you do block one of your gun barrels, you'll still hit the other shot, and that's exactly what we've done here, dealing 1,600 damage. But yeah, the ST2, I would say the major balancing factor that Wargaming gave it is the incredibly poor mobility. The vehicle reaches a top speed of like 40, but the problem is it has like a power to weight of 12, which is awful, as you can imagine. But again, you can do pretty nasty things like that. But with the power to weight being so bad, I'm running Grousers in the mobility slot and turbo on this vehicle, a T3 turbo, which actually allows this tank to get up to some decent speed. And because it's already got really good on movement values and the gun's pretty good for what it is, it doesn't really need much else. So I've got improved hardening to give me 2,900 HP, and just watch this. Almost a full health V4. We get to the side F before he's able to turn to stop me, and we just took 862 health off of his vehicle. That is insane. I mean, his tank just got nuked, and now he's basically a husk of his former self. That's insane. You could never do that in a vehicle like an IS-4. In fact, I would have lost the trade. So we're already up to a pretty respectable 3,000 damage in the first 4 minutes of this game. And at this point, I've decided, okay, well, I can't do anything here. The Minnow is an overpowered tank, and that's just a fact. The vehicle has no weak spots while hull down. The only way to deal with a Minnow is hope that you're already shoot it or somebody gets behind it. And for the most part, that just doesn't happen if a pretty decent player just sits hull down and locks a flank. So I decided I'm not going to fight the Minnow. I'm going to go over towards medium flank and see if I can do something over there. Because while my teammates might not be running the speed build for the ST2, I am. So as of right now, I'm just kind of chilling in mid. I'm seeing if anybody gets spotted or if any targets get lit up like that standard B again. However, it doesn't appear like that is going to be the case all too much. So I'm just going to speed up this replay a little bit because at this point, we are going to make our way across towards medium side. But you can see how uphill this tank's power to weight is still awful, 15 kilometers per hour. However, if we put it to normal speed, once this vehicle gets a slight hill to go down, because of the build I'm running, you can see it actually picks up a lot of speed. We're going upwards of 45 kilometers per hour here, and a normal ST2 build just couldn't reach this type of mobility. So that is the nice thing about this tank, but it still takes a while to make my way all the way to the other side of the map, even if we are chilling around 40 kilometers per hour. Still going and going and going. Oh my rat, we are still going, guys, but we have finally made it over towards the other side. It took me about 2 minutes to drive here, which is quite a long time when you think about it, but it was definitely worth it, because as you'll notice, there are two K91 PTs in the front line over here. And for some reason, nobody on our team really did anything. Maybe it's just because our whole team went over towards heavy side. But yeah, I've decided I'm basically full health. I've got 2,400, which is more than my Type 71 has at full. So I'm just going to make my way over here. And oh, look, a K91 PT. Now, he turns, but his teammate, well, guess what? He doesn't. 840 HP into his vehicle, bringing us from 3,100 to 3,900. So you might say, well, you're losing DPM when you do the salvo. Yes, you are, but like, who cares? There's still 7 minutes and 30 seconds left of the battle, and I'm not losing health when I do the salvo. That's the benefit. I can poke these guys and deal double the damage I normally would have without ever worrying about trading as much HP. So the K91 somehow bounces me, and look at that. Another salvo, another 855 health off of his tank. Just like that, we're now up to 4,800 damage. My Skoda T50 gets the pen into his tank, gets a second one, and we finish him off. Not too bad. Well, I mean, we have just absolutely wrecked our opponents. And again, it's a great example of the speed build allowing me to reposition across the entire side of the map. If I was running a much slower build, I probably would have just gotten here at around this point. And because I'm running the mobility, I'm able to get into position way, way faster. So look at that, we got a 4005 spotted. And because this tank's fairly accurate, we're just going to aim in and fire! Oh yeah! 756. I mean, yes, it was a massive low roll, but the fact both of those shells hit, and the fact that my teammate salvoed him right at the same time we shot, we literally just took 1,600 HP off that 4005 instantly, which is kind of insane. So all that's left is the E4, and yeah, he gone. So already we're up to 5,600 damage at this point. We've blocked 1,500 and we've assisted 177. I mean, this game has just been an absolute steamroll, and it shows just why I really find this tank fun. We got a bunch of salvos out, and it's not every game where you have the opportunity to do this, but when you do and you're able to make them connect, it makes this tank feel so dang fun, because you don't have the downsides of being this large lumbering mass of a 60 TP or 705. You actually have good DPM, you actually have a fairly accurate gun when it comes to the vehicle itself, which makes it kind of enjoyable. I was going to do a salvo, but obviously it wouldn't have mattered because he got nuked by my teammate salvo. It's just funny how we're all fighting at the end of this game to see who can get the salvo off first. We got the enemy standard B right in front of me. I'm going to aim in and bonk. There you go. Easy shot. We got the Leopard, but unfortunately the Leopard is super duper far back in a position where we can't hit him. And as you can see, my teammate salvos him. My shell misses, but I can't complain. 6,122 damage. Taking a look at the post-game results, this was not only a solid game for me, dealing 6,122, but my teammate did 5,000, and my other one, while a little bit further behind, still did 2,700. That is 1, 2, and 4 on the positioning when it comes to the team, and if you add up all of our damage tallies together, we did around 14,000. That is kind of insane when you think about it. The ST2 is just an incredibly fun vehicle. The way the tank is designed, the way the playstyle is, the fact that it actually has gun depression compared to a lot of Soviet heavies, the fact that it has this incredibly unique mechanic allows it to be one of my favorite tier 10s. And because of that, I will always enjoy playing it. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video as much as I did, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.